What's up, guys? Welcome to this weird, badly lit video outside near my punty shack here in the backyard of my house. I had an odd idea of something I just kind of was thinking about and wanted to talk about in a video, and I just decided to capture it where I had it. And what I was thinking about is how things change as a car enthusiast over the time span of since when you first kind of got into cars, and then when you are older, after you've been into it for a long time, after you've built a couple cars, etc. And just a couple things I think I hadn't thought about in that regard before. And what got me started was we went out to eat dinner earlier tonight, and in a row I saw a mid-90s DSM that was mildly hooked up, a second generation Integra, and a Contour SVT. And they all kind of looked like they had a little bit of something done, and just completely brought me back to that sort of mid to late 90s, early 2000s car era, which is, I was pretty active in the local car scene and stuff at that time. So it just sort of brought me back to that. But it really got me thinking about how much has changed from then to now, and how much of that is not the scene or cars in general, or even what I'm working on. I mean, the cars that I have right now, you guys know, aren't new cars by any means anyway, but it's more the way I'm thinking about cars. And that's kind of the thing, is like, some of you guys may be in this phase, may not know that this ever changes. Some of you guys may be able to think back and remember what it was like. But you know, when you've got the first car you were excited about, that you wanted to put parts on, and you didn't really know that much about cars yet, and just how exciting that was, how everything was something new, something you hadn't done before. The days when you went to the local whatever performance shop was nearby and bought a cold air intake for your car and slapped it on there and heard the difference that the intake made, or the days when you bought a K&N filter and thought your car was a race car. I mean, we laugh about that kind of stuff now, but that level of excitement that you felt back then was kind of something special. I'm trying not to be like super mushy about this or anything, and the cars are sort of the same way. Like, I remember back when I was in my very early 20s and running around being the weirdo driving an old SHO, hanging out in a crowd of people who had Preludes and DSMs, and there was the odd 240SX, and basically back in those days it was like Fast and Furious had just come out not that long ago, so suddenly there were all these new people trying to be in the car scene nearby, because I guess, you know, everyone became a car enthusiast for like a couple years there. And it was just a lot of those cars. Like, I think that's where my love of turbochargers comes from, was because in that scene, like, that was so looked up to, and the fastest cars were boosted, and it was such a fun, interesting, like, exciting time, and being out and roaming around and doing completely stupid things like racing a turbo coupe on the highway to like 135, because neither one of us would let out. Don't do that. I'm not recommending anyone do that. It was stupid, but it's something that I did. Installing a nitrous kit in a garage at 2 in the morning, and then just taking it out and ripping back streets just because I'd never owned a car that had nitrous on it before, and how exciting that was. And it's like, it seems that as you go along and as you learn new things and you build better projects and you hang out with more car people and you race more, the level of things you're looking at continuously moves up. You find out things that don't work very well and you stop doing them. You focus on the bigger things, bigger horsepower builds, and making your car faster. And the thing is, you can very easily get so caught up in that trying to impress people, trying to drive a really fast car and trying to get to this level that you just start to neglect everything that you enjoyed about owning a car, about being a car enthusiast, about playing with cars. It's kind of part of why I've been excited about doing this header series. And of course, there's already been plenty of people who are saying this header series is a waste of time and shouldn't do it and blah, 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 blah. But that's the thing, especially with older platforms. You get so many people who get stuck in their head that this is the way this is. You build this car this way, and then that's all there is to it. And it takes all the fun out of it. Yeah, I'm probably throwing my money away. I mean, not entirely, because I'm gonna make some money off the videos, but yeah, I'm probably throwing my money away by buying headers and putting them on a nearly stock car. But I'm also playing. I'm also screwing around with a set of headers I've never had before. I'm gonna have to surface some header flanges, which sucks, but at the same time, I get to like figure out a way to do that. How can I do it cheaper? And even if I put them on there and they make it 2 weeks and they crack, I can still take a minute to stop and just really think about what I would have felt like doing that when I was like 19. And just that sort of a exciting putting a shiny part on your car thing. I get letting everyone know that you know what you're doing. I do. I know no one wants to look like they don't know what they're doing. And so everyone's quick to shoot down anything they think they've already proven wrong. But then what? Then what do? It's more fun, I think, to just play with things. I mean, I'm putting a lot of money into finding out for sure what these headers do and don't do. And at the end of the day, I may spend a lot of money on finding out that they don't do anything. But at the end of the day, I still did it. I got to go to a dyno twice. Was it for no reason? Yeah, but you can't tell me the kid in you doesn't somewhere feel like going to the dyno at all is fun, even if there's no point in it. Like I don't want to be that jaded. And I think I was for a long time, especially when I was working on cars in a flat rate environment every day. I got to the point where literally it was like, if there wasn't a really damn good reason to be messing with a car, I didn't want to mess with it anymore. And that's part of why I didn't want to do that anymore, because I hated losing that love for machines that I had when I was a kid, when I would take something apart just to put it back together, not to improve it, not to do anything with it, just because I like playing with machines. And that's why I'm playing with these old cars and why I might be wasting my time doing silly things. But that's the joy of being into cars. It's not about accomplishing a goal. It's just about playing. It's about doing something that you enjoy doing for the sake of doing it, even if there's no point at all. Which is, let's face it, all you're ever gonna get out of a car. They're not investments. You're not gonna make money off of them. They're going to take money from you until eventually you stop, and then they're gonna go away. All you get is the enjoyment. Those nights when you're pissed off and you leave the house and you jump in the car and can beat the hell out of it through 4 back roads and come back home and feel a little bit better. That's what they're for. I don't know. I don't ever want to lose that part of it. I don't ever want to stop being an enthusiast to be a technician. That's it, I guess. I just encourage everyone who is frustrated with their project or unsure about what they're doing, or who's been in a Facebook argument over whose car is faster, to take a minute and try to step back and look at your project and look at your car like you would have when you didn't know any of the stuff that you know right now. When you didn't have that top of the line level of know-how or whatever, when you were just dumb and it was fun. And look at it from that perspective. I bet you find you love it a lot more than you thought you did once you quit trying to be so serious about it. I'm gonna stop running my mouth now. It's dark outside. I'm going inside where sane people stay. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next video, and peace.